A fine top of the day to you, ladies and gents. The fine folks at the Favorlite brand selling team sent me their latest Gooseneck work light to take a look at. So without further ado, let's take a look and see what's in the box. Clearly, just looking at the box, we can tell one use of this light would be automotive repair work. And for you do-it-yourselfers, it should be an excellent product for that, as we'll see again shortly. In the box, we have the actual work light itself and a one-page instruction sheet. This is clearly a very high-quality unit. The actual housing for both the battery and the electronics that power the light, as well as light itself, are cast aluminum. The actual gooseneck itself is a vinyl-covered steel. And as you can see here, it stays exactly where you put it. It's real good about holding its shape. Operation of the light is very simple. It's one button on and one button off. So basically it's a toggle button to turn things on and off. You can also adjust the beam of the light from flood to spot, as we'll see a little bit later on in the video. The battery housing cover is a screw-on, and inside there are 3 batteries mounted in a housing. They're AAA batteries. The yellow band at the bottom of the housing is just reminding you to remove the isolator. That keeps the batteries from discharging while the unit is being shipped. And again, the batteries are shipped installed in the unit. The base of the housing has a pretty strong magnet in it, which we'll see a little later makes the light even more useful. As I mentioned before, the light does have a zoom lighting function. And here's what that looks like with additional illumination in addition to the light itself. And here's what it looks like with the light providing only the illumination. As you can see, it's a pretty wide variety that you can zoom this beam to, almost a point light to a full floodlight. Here's a quick look at the instruction sheet that comes with the light. As you can see here, it goes through all the basic parameters on the light, and this should define just about everything you need to know about the light. As the instructions remind you, this isn't a kid's toy. The beam is pretty darn bright, and you definitely wouldn't want to look straight into the beam. What I have here is just a regular piece of steel, and again, it's non-magnetic. What I'm using this steel for is just to have something for the light to latch on to. A piece of sheet metal would work just fine. And as you can see here, the magnet on the little light is definitely strong enough to hold it in any particular position you want to mount the light. Up, down, or sideways, it definitely makes no difference. This little magnet on the bottom of the light is going to hold it exactly where you want it to be. Well, let's take a look at a couple possible applications for this little light. In this case, what I'm simulating here is how the light would work if I happened to have a flat tire and had to change it and it was pitch black outside. The paper just keeps me from scratching my car fender. But as you can see here, it lights things up pretty darn good. You wouldn't have any trouble at all changing a flat tire using this light mounted on the fender like this. Here's another look at that zoom lighting function for this same application. You'll note full wide beam, just like you'd want to change the tire, to a point beam if you just want to look at one specific spot on the tire. In this case, I'm simulating an under hood repair, and what I'm doing is allowing the magnetic base to clamp onto the shock tower. Now I'll turn off my supplemental light and we'll see how the little light does in illuminating underneath the hood here. And I believe you'll agree here that I wouldn't have any trouble at all working on the throttle body or changing a spark plug on this unit. Totally lit up, and wouldn't have a problem at all moving it over, even working on the alternator or changing out a belt. In this shot, I've repositioned the light so you can see down in the spark plug and header area. And as you can see, there's plenty of illumination down there to do any work you might have to do. What I've done here is reposition the light to the hood latch area. But in this one location, as you can see, it pretty well lights up the entire top front of the engine. Again, no problem again here changing a belt or working on a distributor or something like that. Now let's look at another common problem for all those potential do-it-yourselfers. A plumbing problem. In this particular case, just turning off the valves or checking for a water leak. As you can see here, the light's set on full flood and everything's down and below is well illuminated, so you wouldn't have trouble at all looking for leaks or turning off the plumbing valves. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you found this video both interesting and useful. If you did, consider giving me a like and definitely consider subscribing. I've probably got a few more things coming along here pretty soon you're going to want to see. Till our paths cross again on the next video. Take care, y'all. Catch you on the flip.